Hey guys, so this is the video for Evolutionary Theories. I'm going to take you through what is on this page. Up here you have your key annotations, so keywords from the previous page and annotations. Of course, these are all the different models of evolution that scientists have come up with over the years of sort of developing our modern idea now. What I'm going to go through is how to break down a question. Some of you yesterday were saying that it's really hard. From the last test, it was really hard to break down the wording of questions, so I'm going to give you a tool. And that goes for the criteria for success here for breaking down a multiple choice question. I'm going to show you this criteria by going through this question. Before we start, I need you to change a couple of things on this question. The first is that you're going to cross out this word was and then cross out the word by. And then for B, you're crossing out gold and Edridge, and you are writing in gradualism. So this is the word gradualism. Okay. All right, so my first step, I have bracketed the question. So brackets simply look like this. And when I say bracket my question, I don't mean everything in the entire little blurb. I mean literally just the question part, which is this. The reason we do this is because we want to read this first to see if this other information they give us is actually necessary to answer the question. All right, which hypothesis was most challenged by the work of Lamarck? All right, my next step is I have underlined at least 3 keywords in the question or the answer choices. I can underline words that I see up here. I could also underline words that maybe I already know. So one word could be like hypothesis. I know that this is a prediction. Was most challenged. So this would be like a different explanation. Most of the time it's like an opposite, usually, and by the work of Lamarck. Lamarck, I can look up here. Lamarck thought that species evolved in their own lifetime and then passed this adaptation that they got to their offspring. So this would be like if I decided to live in a forest and I was like, oh shoot, I feel like I'm gonna get eaten, let me just turn green to blend into the forest. Then I would just like turn green to blend into the forest, and then I would then be green, and then if I had kids, then my children would be green. So that's what Lamarck predicted, or that's what he thought how evolution happened. All right, my third step was I have annotated for the words I underlined, so that's exactly what I did. My annotations were these short little definitions. All right, fourth step, I related my answer choices back to the original question. I want to make sure that my answer is actually answering the question. I'm not just picking a true statement. Wallace's hypothesis that species were distributed based on the geography. Well, Wallace did say this, however, this does not match our question. This is talking about evolving. Lamarck talked about evolving in a lifetime that's like a time span. This doesn't really have to do anything with time. This is just where things are. All right, gradualism. The gradualism hypothesis that sudden environmental change contributed to species evolving. Well, gradualism and sudden are the complete opposite things. This is not what gradualism says. Gradualism says that evolution happens slowly or gradually, not suddenly. So this statement is false. All right, Darwin's hypothesis that adaptive traits, so traits are like characteristics, that's something I could also have annotated, appeared over generations, not in one lifetime. So this is like it takes a while for something to appear. This looks right to me, but let me keep going. Reddy's hypothesis that spontaneous generation explained the existence of life. We are not talking about the existence of life, like how life came to be. We're talking about how it evolved. So there's a difference there. So my answer is going to be C. Before you start on number 10, know that you should be going through the criteria for success. And also, number 10, you are going to cross out Lamarck and put Mathes's. It's another scientist. And get started and have fun.